We are following breaking news out of Egypt, where there's been an attack on Coptic Christians. So we are just getting this information into our newsroom now, hearing at least 23 people are dead, 25 injured after a gunman attacked a bus carrying Coptic Christians. It happened about 250 kilometers south of Cairo. The bus was on the way to a church. So far, there are no reports if the attackers got away, no claim of responsibility. Again, details are few at the moment, but of course, we will continue to follow this throughout the morning. Meantime, here at home from our streets, we are following a fatal shooting in Brampton. It happened around 10:30 last night. A man in his 30s shot on Desert Sand Drive near Sandalwood Parkway and Bramley Drive. He was rushed to a trauma center in Toronto, but died from his injuries. So far, there's been no arrest, and the only information on the shooter was that they may have left the scene in a dark-colored vehicle. Now, we are also following more breaking news, this time on the TTC. Trains right now holding on line 2, the Bloor Danforth line. This is because of a fire investigation right now at Old Mills Station. So far, there's no word if any shuttle buses will be running. This is something we are monitoring and checking into for you as well. Well, a busy end to the week on the world stage with the NATO summit and the now G7 leaders, including Justin Trudeau, arriving in Sicily. CNN's Karen Kaifa joining us live right now in Washington. And Karen, all eyes are on Donald Trump. What's the reaction so far?
Yeah, absolutely, Melanie. President Trump has met with all of these world leaders before, including Prime Minister Trudeau, but this is the first time he will do it in a group setting. And there are some general topics that these leaders are going to discuss, but there are also some specifics for the U.S. president, starting with what are his policies and positions on Russia. They've seen him talk about warmer relations between the U.S. and Russia, but European allies especially eye Russia very warily, especially since Russia got the boot from the G8. Now the G7 a couple of years ago after they invaded and annexed Crimea. They're also going to want to get a better sense of where he is on climate change. President Trump on the campaign trail talked about withdrawing the U.S., canceling the Paris Accords, and he's since talked a little bit less severe about that. But they're going to want to know if he plans to stay. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson said earlier this week that the president won't make a decision until he returns to the White House, so there'll be likely some discussions on climate change. Also, the backdrop of terror, with British Prime Minister Theresa May at that table, her country the victim of a terror attack earlier this week. That's going to be a big topic. A big topic for President Trump on this international trip has been more global cooperation on the war on terror. So lots for these leaders to discuss, Melanie, as they get underway in about an hour with their first working session.
A lot to look forward to. CNN's Karen Kaifa, thank you so much for joining us this morning.